This year, the entire Dominican family celebrates the 800th anniversary of the Dies Natalis of our Holy Father, Saint Dominic. In the Christian tradition, we use the term Dies Natalis, which literally means day of birth, to refer to the death anniversary of a martyr or saint, which is their birthday in heaven. A saint's Dies Natalis is also what usually becomes the saint's feast day, unless a more important celebration already falls on that date in the church calendar. Saint Dominic died on August 6, 1221 in Bologna, shortly after arriving there with a very high fever. After making his confession and being made to rest, he had the friars called to his bedside. He exhorted them with these final words, which serve as his last testament. Have charity in your hearts. Practice humility after the example of Jesus Christ, and treasure voluntary poverty. You know that to serve God is to reign, but first, you must serve Him in love with all your heart. He also comforted them by saying, Do not weep, my children. I will be more helpful to you in death where I am going than I have ever been in this life. At the time of Dominic's death, Blessed Jordan of Saxony narrates one of his early followers, Blessed Guala of Bergamo, saw an opening in heaven from which two bright ladders descended. The top of one was held by Christ and the other by his mother. Angels ascended and descended on both ladders. At the bottom of the two ladders, in the middle, was a chair on which sat a man clothed in the order's habit, his face covered by his hood the way the friars are buried. Christ and his mother pulled the ladders up little by little until the one who was sitting at the bottom reached the top. The friar, who turned out to be Dominic, was thus received into heaven in a cloud of light with angels singing. By the time of his death, the order had begun to spread as far as Hungary, Denmark, and England. Miracles continued to occur around his tomb, where he continued to help from heaven his brethren on earth. His dear friend, Gregory IX, canonized him only 13 years later on July 13, 1234. And because August 6 was already the feast of Saint Sixtus, his feast was set to August 5. When Paul IV made August 5 the feast of Saint Mary Major in 1558, his feast was moved to August 4. And during Vatican II's reform of the calendar in 1970, his feast was moved again to August 8. Ever the itinerant and tireless preacher, Saint Dominic continues to move more helpful to us in death than in life, as he had promised. As we celebrate the 800th anniversary of his birth into heaven, let us ask him to pray for us that we might live worthy lives as his spiritual children and one day join him in the company of the blessed. Father, fulfill your promise and help us by your prayers.